Hello, welcome to Drupal Over Easy. My name's Nigel. In this tutorial we're going to be following on from the Leaflet introduction tutorial. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be filtering the content, in other words the cities by their populations, by the population size, and then we will add a little menu, drop-down menu bar to be able to select the different sizes of populations. Let me show you what I mean in this example, in this demo. Okay, so here we've got a map of Australia, and I've just got one token showing at the moment. And if we go across here, you'll see the little menu bar, and this represents, I think, Darwin. Yep, and we're saying it's got a small size population. If we click on large, you'll see we're saying large population size cities, and you'll see we've got Brisbane, Sydney, etc. I think you get the idea. If we click on medium, you'll see some cities with a medium-sized population. So what we're going to do in this tutorial is add this drop-down box here, and we're going to filter this content here, which actually taxonomy terms. Okay, if you're interested in doing this, follow the rest of the tutorial with me. Okay, so prerequisites for this is going to be the Geofield Map tutorial that we did, and I've put a link on Drupal Over Easy to that. And by using this tutorial you'll have access to the terms that we're going to be filtering, as well as the content that you would have initially established with your geofields. Do the Leaflet introduction. This tutorial is a direct follow-on from the Leaflet introduction tutorial, and it's good to have Drupal 7 and Views 3 experience. The modules are just the same as what we had for the Leaflet introduction tutorial, so I'm not going to spend any time going over that. Okay, let's make a start. Okay, I'll switch over to my site here. Okay, when we left the Leaflet introduction tutorial, we left it just like this. As you can see, we've got no menu here, and we can't separate this by population size. So let's do that now. Okay, we want to go to our view, and I called it Leaf Oz. Okay, inside here. And the first thing I want to do is to add the taxonomy term that we created in the Geofield Maps tutorial. So I'm just going to add that. I'm just going to type taxonomy. And there it is there. This will be enough for what I need to do with the taxonomy terms. Okay, apply that. Remove the label. Now I'm going to unlink this, remove this link this field to its term page. What we're doing in this view is we're just filtering the data itself. We're not actually going to be jumping across to any links or any pages or any terms as such. We're just filtering the content on the page, so I don't need this. And select limit terms by vocabulary, and we're going to select our vocabulary, which is population size, and apply that. Okay, right, we've got that there now. Okay, now the next step here is to go down to the filter criteria here, and we're going to add a filter. Just going to override that, and the filter we're going to add is going to be, I'm just going to type term. And what I'm going to do is select has a taxonomy term up here. So I'm going to select this filter. What I'm doing here is I'm going to select a filter, then I'm going to expose it. By exposing it, I can make it available to a block. In the block, I can actually point to a certain page. That's the theory behind this. Okay, so select has taxonomy term and apply this. In the vocabulary, I want the vocabulary population size, and here I just want to use the drop-down box. It's a bit easier selecting that, especially on the mouse instead of typing words. And in here I'm going to show the hierarchy in the drop-down. Apply and continue. Okay, here's the key point here. We can actually expose this filter. We can actually expose this filter to a block, and that's what we're going to be doing here. So we're going to expose this filter to allow visitors to change them, and you saw that in an example. And I'm going to set a default to large. It's one of these. So when you actually click on the drop down box, you'll see large is selected. Apply this display. Okay, we've now selected, we've exposed our filter. We just need to do a few more things. We want to use a sort of dynamic drop down box without entering any enter key as such. So we'll use Ajax to allow that. I'll just override that. Select yes. Right, next we want to expose the form in block. In other words, when we go to blocks, we'll be able to see this view. So select yes. And finally, I'm just going to click on settings and I'm going to click auto submit. Hide the submit button. You can override that. And apply that. Okay, I believe this is enough. Okay, you can now save that view, go into blocks, and we scroll on down to the disabled views, and we can see at the top we've got our view here, and the reason that view is showing up is because we exposed that view inside the view itself. I'm just going to assign this to a region sidebar first, and I'm just going to put this underneath navigation and Oz cities. Save this block. I'm going to go back to I'm going to configure the block I just put up here, because I only want the blocks, the menu, to show up in the Leaf Oz maps. So configure that. And only want, so I'm only going to select only listed pages, and we're going to just select Leaf Oz. And if you're wondering, this is just the path that we actually enabled in our view. And I'm going to select, actually I'm just going to keep this as it is. I don't believe I need any sub-arguments under this, so I'm just going to save this block configuration. Remove this overlay. Okay, so what we're seeing here now is there's a default value which we set in our view to large. And it's Brisbane's. I'm using a Mac here, so 2 fingers and 3 fingers. But if we go to medium, we've got Perth, and if we go to small, we've got Darwin at the top. If we go back to large, we're filtering on Brisbane and Sydney. Okay, so that concludes this tutorial. Basically, it didn't take too long. We just had to configure our view, add a taxonomy term, expose that taxonomy term, expose a view so blocks could have access to it, and just configure the block just so it showed up in this page here. And that was all rather straightforward. So that concludes this tutorial. If you've got any questions or comments or any feedback you want to give me, pop along to drupalovereasy.com. You can also select the Twitter, follow me at Twitter, and basically each tutorial I upload, I basically submit that to Twitter, and so you'll get notified of any of my latest tutorial submissions as well, just if you want to follow these tutorials around. That's all for this one. Thank you for your time and thank you for watching. Bye for now.